happened right there. But hey, what's up, everybody? So I'm live again. Good evening and salutations. So probably gonna open up the broadcast on a second live, just kind of. Hey, what's up, man? What's going on? How you been? So it's very echoey in here. This is actually my office space now. Hey, well, what's up, man? What's going on? So, yeah, the walls are white, so I'm gonna have some stuff put in there and make it better, at least a lot better to look at in the background than white walls. So how's everybody been? How's everyone doing? What you guys up to? How's life treating you? Everything good with everybody? You guys doing all right? 5 lines for 100 a month. It's all right. So I guess. Life is treating me better than most people. That's good to hear. I've been great. I've been tired. Couple things that happened. My schedule changed at work, so instead of working in the afternoons till the evening, I work mornings now, and on top of that, I got a promotion, so I was real happy about that. Which is why, a lot of my time has just been very hard to do things, just based on that. With promotion comes more responsibility, comes more things that has to get done, so, yeah. Isaac, what's up, man? How's it going? Should I get the iPhone 6 Plus for Virginmobile for one? That's totally up to you. If you think it's worth the buy, then go for it. Go for a device that you want that's going to make you happy. So let me ask you guys, how many of you guys sick and tired of reading articles about the Sprint T-Mobile merger? Just out of curiosity. I know I've been posting videos about it and kind of covering it. Freedom Pop is OP. Okay. Let me rest my phone up against this. I'm actually reading your comments from this phone. I'm tired of it. I wish they would be done with it. Do not want the merger. I'm kind of curious though. I mean, just kind of give me your reasons why you're against the merger. It's not that I'm not saying that I support it or anything like that. I'm just curious to know your thoughts about it. What do you guys think about it? Especially since it's not a traditional merger. It's not where they're both going to become together. I think it would be a good idea to an extent. Yeah, to an extent. But I think it's just funny that that some people are assuming that both companies are going to merge, actually merge together, and not really see. It's more of a bailout tactic, basically. It just allows both of them to basically have what they need to take on Verizon and AT&T. What's your thoughts on the iPhone 10? I think I did a video about that already. I did a video of my thoughts, and then I did a video of my thoughts. Which Mario Party is this? It's not Mario Party. Sorry, I'm not playing any games on here. Yeah, I'm just always curious to know exactly what everyone thinks. I know, at my job, everyone's just buzzing about it. People are just speculating so quick, and then at the same time, too, we get customers that ask us about it, and we can't really talk about it. We have to basically state that it's a rumor, and we cannot speculate on rumors at this time or comment about them. So it would be good to see them merge if it made coverage better. Yeah. But there's the whole thing of net neutrality and all that other stuff that comes into play. So it's kind of like, it's here or there. How was my Halloween? I worked. This year, I didn't get to go trick-or-treating with my kids. I had to work. So, which, like, it sucked. Because, you know, people were too busy to call in and complain. So, literally, we had, like, so much downtime. But, yeah. I worked Halloween. How was your Halloween? Did everyone have like a good Halloween? Was it good Halloween parties, trick-or-treating, things like that? You never celebrate Halloween? Why not? Halloween's a fun holiday. I like that upside down emoji face. It's a waste of time for you. Hey, to each his own, right? I mean, you know, everyone don't have to do or believe or, you know, enjoy the same things. That's what makes life so great, is that we're all individual and we all have individual thoughts and feelings. So trust me, it's not going to offend me if you don't like something that I like, or vice versa. There's no reason to be offended. Being an individual is a lot better than being the same as everything else. I am loving the weather, by the way. I'm loving the fact that it's getting cooler, especially here, man, because here it gets pretty hot. So with the weather calming down and everything like that, it makes great for me to go out in like various different places and, you know, do some videos, which, you know, obviously my videos have actually changed. Kind of straying away from doing a lot of hardware videos, more focused on other things. So hopefully you guys have been enjoying them. It's hot for November. It's crazy. Yeah. Where are you from? Kind of curious to know where it's still hot at. I mean, like, here it's warm during the day. It's like in mid-low 90s, sometimes upper 80s, and then at night it gets down to like the mid-60s. So in your area it's already going to snow? Nice. You're from Texas? Cool. Temps are up and down here. Yeah, I've seen your snaps sometimes, RJ. It's like 80s over here. Okay. That's cool. 80s is not bad. There's still 80s over here. So like one of the craziest things that I wanted to share with you guys, I thought would be funny, was a lot of Sprint customers upset over the iPhone 10. And it's not so much of like the pricing or anything like that, but I think on the 27th, pre-orders went live for the iPhone 10 on Sprint. Like not even a day or two after, Sprint actually, well, they accidentally sent out an email to those that pre-ordered the iPhone 10, letting them know that their device was ready for pickup in store. So you can imagine how many people we dealt with that were like really upset in the fact that it was a false alarm. Believe me, de-escalating calls and stuff like that from upset customers who literally drove to the Sprint store thinking their iPhone 10 was there, and it wasn't there because it just launched today. So yeah, we've had a lot of those. We have a lot of people that's like upset because they're not upgrade eligible, and they want the iPhone 10. Like the iPhone 10 is a hot commodity. Let me move forward because I'm kind of leaning back. But you know, just to be honest about everything. What's my thoughts on the new Razer phone? I'm actually quite interested in that phone. I mean, yeah, I know like some people are just kind of like it's the Robin just rebranded, but I think there's more to it. I'm more focused on software side of things, and while the body of the phone looks like the Robin in a way, I think for what it has, and I think the display itself is just killer. I mean, you know, for what it does. I mean, it's a gaming phone, but the concept idea is actually right about it. You know, giving it more processing power, more RAM, giving it the ability to, like the frame rates. I think is like 120 frames per second, something like that. While it's meant for gaming, it benefits the average user who watches movies and does normal things. So I'm quite interested in the Razer phone. I think it's something that I definitely would want to get my hands on if I could. I would just get it for the speakers. Yeah, well, I mean, to each his own, right? Everyone has their preference in what they get for their phone, so. But I think it's an interesting phone. I seen an unboxing earlier. The Sharp Aquos S2 looks really nice as well. Yeah, I mean, well, it's kind of funny, you know, just because of the fact that the Essential phone and the Aquos S2 very, very similar in just appearance. I know underneath the hood it's night and day, but yeah, you can confuse people with it. It's funny though, because I believe the cameras are stacked like the iPhone 10 on the back, and then on the front it just resembles the Essential. So it's like if both were combined, that's what they would look like, type of thing. So interesting enough, though. It's I don't know if it's coming to the U.S. I don't think it is. I'm not sure, but it'd be interesting to see it come to the U.S. though, if it is. Or if it's already out here. Yeah, it does. So, it'll be interesting to see that. The iPhone 10 is crazy expensive, especially repairs with Apple Care. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Apple Care for the iPhone 10 is $17. That's with on Sprint side, they have total equipment protection with Apple Care, and that's $17 rather than their normal insurance monthly rate, which is $13. So you can imagine how many people were upset to hear that. It was more of like a sideline with them, you know, because they would already have insurance and they would keep the insurance when getting the iPhone 10, and then they're about to get hit with a message through text or through email that's going to let them know that their premium's going to go up $17 for them having an iPhone 10. So yeah, crazy, all kinds of deals. Like I know right now, like with a valid trade-in, you get like a $350 off the iPhone 10. I was gonna get the iPhone 10 charged, but I still 720 piece. The iPhone 10, you mean the LG X charge? I know it's a hot seller, right? But overall, I really wonder how it'll do. Oh, LG X charge, yeah. I don't know about the LG X charge. RJ unboxed it. So, I think you have a lot of questions when he does his full video review. I don't know if he already did his video review, but if he hasn't, when he does it, then yeah. A lot of questions we have will get answered. The LG X charge to me, I don't know. It's kind of a letdown. Not yet. No, there you go. I think it's kind of a letdown in a way. So yeah, same here since it's like the X Power 2. Yeah, it is the X Power 2. At least that's the way I call it. So, or considerably the LG Volt 4. Let's just call it that. So, what do you guys think of the HTC U Life? It's basically the Fiesta 2 with an octa-core processor. No. How do you guys feel about that? Like I saw a really cool video about the HTC U Life, and basically it's just it's the miniature version of the HTC U11. So, well, it's called the U11 Life, I think, or just the U Life. I don't know. Quite interesting though. Interesting for a device that's supposed to be like a mid-ranger to the flagship. That's actually, from some people's reviews, runs better than the flagship. It's crazy. Haven't seen the video of that phone yet. Look it up on YouTube. It's actually quite interesting. Definitely. So it's kind of crazy. Oh my gosh. It is late. I'm sorry. I sound so cranky. I'm just tired. Has big bezels. So here's an interesting question since you brought that up about having big bezels. Is it really that important to have a display that has like nearly no bezels at all? And tell me from your opinion, what's the benefit of having absolutely no bezels? I'm curious to know that, because I mean, like I'm going the opposite way on that. Like I think near bezel-less displays look gorgeous. I think they look cool. But I also would think they would be hard to maneuver for certain things. They don't bother you the least. Yeah. Especially if you're gaming, like if you're gonna play a game and whatnot, it's gotta kind of suck where you don't really have a place to rest your hands, your thumbs. So, but I just really want to know. I feel like we're becoming more accustomed to no bezels, like the Galaxy S8. Yeah, I mean it's pushing the boundary in a way. You can say that. If you kind of think about it, when Sharp came out with the Aquos, is pretty much what was like a catalyst for it. I feel like bezel displays are amazing, but not a big factor. Just should be a new feature for new phones. Okay, so you just pretty much like want the evolution of mobile smartphones to kind of go towards having like almost no bezels on it, basically. Phones like my Blade Z Max would be nice without bezels. I bet so. That'd be interesting to see. So what are your guys' take on the Action M from ZTE? Foldable phone. What do you guys think about it? Out of curiosity. This is like weird because I'm live broadcasting, but I'm asking you guys questions. It's the roles reversed now. So now I'm asking you guys to get your guys' thoughts about it. What do you guys think of the Action M? As I just don't really like the foldable phones. It to me almost really it's a good concept, but they just made it bad. It's trash. It reminds me of the Kyocera Echo. Way a lot. So, and I know the Echo was one that just was just like, it was iffy. It was more of like a preference thing. Like some people really thought that it was cool. I think with a foldable smartphone, I really think that the center split really should be more hidden. Now Samsung is supposed to be making one. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Samsung's is going to be foldable like that, or it has a hinge that can snap over, because they've been playing around with screen technology that's bendable. So who knows what they're going to come out with? I mean, I've seen so many concepts, and when you see concepts out there, especially on Google Plus, sometimes I take them with like a 60-40 type thing, because I mean they're concept. they're not confirmed to be an actual thing. I think the only time that I ever take any type of concept into consideration is if like EveLeaks actually tweets about it. True, I thought the DZT phone was pretty weird, like you said, because of the split in the middle. I mean, yeah, that's going to be something that obstructs. Hi, love. That's going to be something that obstructs, especially, you know, if you have it open up and you want to watch a movie into it. That center part is, you know, for me personally, it wouldn't bother me, but I know how most people are with their phones. Today, we're very, very, very picky about our smartphones. So having a phone that folds open to make a bigger display but has a split in the middle that obstructs your view of watching a movie is going to have, you know, some people pretty annoyed. You know, great idea. Honestly, I think it's a pretty good idea. But I also think, too, that it's just one thing that's going to be more of a complaint. So let's move on to something about Google. Let's talk Google. Same here, RJ. I like the specs, but I just don't like. I don't think I'll purchase one. Oh, okay. Let's talk about Google because Google's playing catch up. That's how I call it. I really don't care for, you know, like the fanboy wars or things like that. I'm just gonna call it like I see it, which I think is actually a good thing. Don't get me wrong. It's not that I'm cutting them down or giving them grief about it. I think it's about time that Google's actually starting to play catch up as far as like hardware that they put out. I really think that it was a good move for them to actually buy a portion of HTC's development team to develop the Pixel devices. I know there's a lot of backlash on the Pixel 2 XL for the blue tint, which to me I find to be just... I think it's just, you know, it's just one of those things where it's like something that minor could make such a big storm. But the fact that they actually came out with the Pixel book, I think that's actually pretty cool. And so it's, you know, it's just one of those things where it's like I like where I'm seeing Google going as far as with what they're trying to do. Because I mean, for a long time, it's always been about software for them. And then with software came AI, and AI was one of their focuses. But now they're actually focusing on hardware side too. So they're going to have hardware to pretty much run their software, which will run AI. And for me, I feel like it's only going to get better from here. I mean, the Pixel 2 XL, yeah, it has its issues. The blue tint on the screen, like I said, is a minor thing. Now, the other stuff that people are talking about that they're having, like possible screen burn-in or screen retention, yeah, that I can see that being an issue because nobody, especially if it's screen burn-in, nobody wants to have, you know, these soft buttons or just any type of like icon or anything like that burned into the display. The camera is so good though. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things. It's like, here's what really shocked me, okay? I like watching videos from Chris Pirillo. I don't know if you guys know who he is. You guys probably do. I'm just saying, you know, so I'm not going to assume you guys do or don't. And for the longest time, Chris Pirillo has been an advocate for Apple products, even though he's had his issues with iOS since iOS 7 on up and the things that he's pointed out. And currently, right now, he's catching a lot of backlash because of his opinions about the iPhone 10. But it's been kind of refreshing watching his latest videos because it's like you can really tell that he's his mindset is not biased anymore. When he unboxed the Pixel 2 and the Pixel 2 XL, and then he's unboxed the Pixel book, and he's giving his honest reviews. You know, it's like I said, it's refreshing to see. You know, from someone who's used iOS for so long and has been more of an advocate for Apple than anything else, really, back in the day, and that's only because, you know, he was so immersed in their ecosystem. To see him try, you know, Google and to really give an honest review about how Android is today with 8.0 Oreo, it goes to show that Google's kind of going in the right direction. All right, babe. I'll talk to you in a bit. Isaac. I mean, when you kind of think about it right now, like kind of going a little bit left field, going to the iPhone 10, the idea behind it, giving a refresh to the design and look of the iPhone 10, I think is long overdue. Some people will talk about the notch on the top and say what they want to say about it. I do think it's very odd that they did something like that, which is going to obstruct a lot of your viewing from the phone, especially in landscape mode, and that a lot of developers for apps for iOS are going to have to actually maneuver around that. To me, the best honest reviewer is MKBHD. Yeah, I like Marquez's videos too as well. To be honest, sometimes it's questionable, but that's with every major YouTuber. So, I mean, it goes down to that. But going back towards the iPhone 10, like I was saying, the idea of its design, a refresh to the design, I think was well long overdue. The ideas that iOS 11 has in it, as far as what they're doing, playing with AR, I think is really solid. But at the same time, too, I think that it's just going to take time for iOS users to get used to the way that it is. Because it's already been rumored that future iPhones will now get rid of Touch ID and go for Face ID. So I guess like the iPhone 10, you can say would be like the beta test for the launch of this, which, Apple pretty much nailed it. With 3D facial mapping for facial recognition and unlocking. I think what some people are getting a little bit, frustrated about is the fact that, over time, if you're not really refreshing like your face to unlock on that device, it'll eventually forget. So why can't they just put a fingerprint sensor on the back? Yeah, well, that's what people are saying. Like, the thing about it is that they're going with this Face ID, and I guess some people thought it was just, a crazy move because the demo didn't work when they did their keynote and were showing it on how it was supposed to work. It didn't work when they were demoing it, but there should always be a backup. Like with Android, we have biometric reading, but we still have the ability to set a PIN number or a password or a pattern swipe to unlock. We still have those as a secondary way of doing things. And I think that's something that maybe Apple should have done, was either put, a fingerprint sensor in the back for Touch ID, or as Qualcomm is currently working on a method to having the fingerprint sensor built into the screen. So you would touch on a certain point of the screen and it would recognize your finger to unlock. We're kind of moving towards that. Technology is moving in that direction. And I think, being that Apple could do it, obviously they're breaking some ground with some things that they're doing. I think that's something that they could have invested time into. Why can't, I mean, if you kind of think about it, right? Like we've had facial recognition to unlock for a while now. We've had it on, I forgot which Evo device had it. I know one of them did. I think it was the Evo 3D actually had it, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong. I would feel weird holding my phone to my face to unlock it. Yeah, well, I think it's the way that they had mentioned how it was supposed to like functionally work is the moment that you pick your phone up to look at the screen, it's going to unlock. So it's not like you're really going to like position it to unlock. It's just when you pick up the phone and you're like ready to read something, it's going to unlock because it recognizes your face. And the fact that Apple went ahead and did it with 3D facial mapping makes it a more quicker and seamless, effortless unlock period. So that kind of like took what we had and, just like what Apple does. They take something that we've done and they go and they try to make it as, as good as possible and then take the credit for that. Not trying to change the subject, but did they ever find out how or why that money for? No, I didn't really see any more articles about it. I'm getting a limited hotspot on my phones. Boost Mobile, awesome, huh? No idea how I got it though. No idea either. But yeah, essentially there's always flaws in the system. But yeah, no, there was never really an article that explained it. Yeah, there was an article posted that that a user in India had the Moto E4 Plus, and he felt it getting warm in his pocket, so he took the phone out and he heard it like hissing, so he threw it on the ground, and not even like a minute later, it actually like bursted. So, but this is something like I was saying in on my podcast, and that was this is something that is becoming a trend, you know, with battery manufacturers for smartphones. It just seems like that their safety inspections is not being done correctly, or they're just being lazy about it. You know, like with the Note 7 and the insulation issue that it had, that was the battery was shorting out. Could happen to any phone, really. Yeah, exactly. Could happen to any phone. So, you know, it's like when you buy a phone, it's like the luck of the draw. You know, you're going to hope that it's going to give you the experience that it was intended to give you, or it's going to have some sort of defect to it. And if it has a defect to it, just how bad of a defect it is. I can't see always having to stare at my phone to log in. Yeah, and see, that's the thing. Like, you have different users out there. Everyone has a mind of their own. So everybody's going to look at it from a different point of view. And there has to be something for everybody. You know, do you like music? If so, what do I listen to? I listen to all types of music. So it could be anything from new metal to like, you know, early 90s grunge rock to hard rock, country, hip hop, like electronica, or what do they call it now? EDM. They have so many names for that type. It used to be electronica, then it was trance, then it was progressive trance, then it was dubstep and EDM and all that stuff. So I don't know. But yeah, I'm a fan of just all music. If it sounds good to me, if it has a meaning to me, then I like listening to it. But yeah, I think, you know, there's just too much going on with the iPhone 10, and a lot of people are going to have to try and get used to it. Like, especially, you know, like when you're swiping up, the different gestures of swiping up on the display. Like, I think if you swipe up halfway, I forgot what it does. All right, Isaac, thanks for dropping by, man. Take it easy and have a great night, and I'll try to start streaming more again. But yeah, so going back to Google's side, it's really nice to see them kind of going in that direction of having their own hardware. It's been a long time coming, especially when they bought Motorola. I actually think Apple had a great idea. Just should have put the fingers in the back. Yeah, enjoy the video, but gotta go to sleep. Good night. All right, take it easy, RMA Nation. Yeah, you know, for Google to now break into the hardware game, I think it's, like I said, it's a long time coming. Like, we literally thought that Google was going to do this when they bought Motorola. Surprisingly, they sold Motorola to Lenovo, so that kind of worked against it. And now seeing them buy a portion of HTC's development, and they also have access to HTC's development patents. That's always a good thing too, because I think that the Pixel 2 XL has the squeeze technology, same as the HTC U11. So, I mean, for them now breaking into the hardware game, I'm kind of excited for it. I really am. But at the same time too, I kind of frown upon it, because it's like, today we crave so much gimmicky features that OEMs now price phones more than what a monthly car note would be. Like, you can get yourself a nice car and make monthly payments on it for like $400. To get, you know, a Google flagship device, to get an Apple flagship device, you're paying twice as much than what you would pay monthly for a car. to me, that's crazy. So I will always stick to mid-rangers. I think the only thing that you really could consider a flagship in my catalog of phones, which is just, I like to call it the B-list phones because it's not the A-listers, would be my Honor 8 and then my Nextbit Robin. And that's really it. Sometimes I wish so. We're like they were back in 2005. Yeah, this is true. Like what the new iPhone 10 is worth is too much. That is more than a month's rent for me. Yeah, exactly. It's becoming too much. But then at the same time, too, we're allowing that to happen. Google is slowly getting very involved in the game, making moves for sure. Yeah, I agree with that. But I think, we're responsible for what flagship devices are costing nowadays. We allow that because we have to rush to get the latest Galaxy S device or the latest iPhone or the latest Pixel device. Like we tend to, be impulsive shoppers when it comes to it. So since OEMs are seeing a lot of that, it's like they know that, this year we can make this device $600. Next year we'll make it $700. Next year we'll make it $800. And now they got to a point where like it's becoming normalcies for someone to spend on, over $1,000 on the phone to outright own it. Because I know we have, carriers with their leasing installment billing type payment plans where you make monthly payments on a device. And so I guess that also makes it seem like it's okay to make a phone and charge $1,000 for it. But, is the phone really worth $1,000? iPhone 10 rumored to have about 14 million orders. I wouldn't doubt it. Like I said, today I have so many people that wanted to cancel. And it wasn't because they were having poor network connectivity or any issues like that. It was all because, they upgraded earlier this year to the iPhone 7. The iPhone 8 came out, they held out for the iPhone 10, and then they want to talk their way and saying, what if I gave back my iPhone 7 and canceled my lease? Can I upgrade? And I have to be the bearer of bad news and say, no, you committed to an 18-month term, you have to do your 18 months or pay off the remaining balance of the 18 months, and then you can upgrade and surrender the device back. And people don't want to hear that, so then they want to throw a fit like a 5-year-old and scream they're going to cancel and all kinds of other stuff. By 2019, I'm sure we'll see phones at $1,500. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt that the next iPhones were going to be at that point. If they find a way to cram a terabyte into a smartphone, then yeah, definitely you can expect to see over $1,500 for a phone. Good grief. And next year, the iPhone 11, 11S, I just don't get Apple fans. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure Apple fans say the same thing about those that are fans of Google products and Android and Samsung and all that, Sometimes we just take this stuff a little bit too far. Only to pull it out of the box and drop it and shatter. Don't jinx somebody, man. Do you realize, RJ, that at this point right now, someone just unboxed their iPhone 10, got excited to show everyone their new phone, and it dropped? And you just made that statement. Irony at its best. Yeah, but I think, to me personally, I think, those people that are gunning for mid-range phones, you're in a well better spot. I mean, the Moto E4 Plus has been a great phone for me to use. And you guys have seen throughout my past videos how much I switch between phones. And only for today, I switched back to my Galaxy J7 2015 model. And that's only for a nostalgic reason to use it. And I'm going to do a video for like after a year and a half or a year, 8 months or whatever, type video about that phone. So yeah, they add more gigabytes, RAM, bigger processor, and price increases $100 or $200. It stinks. What phone do I miss most? If it can be any phone, I have to say my Razer V3M. Well, good night. This live stream is pretty cool. Other phone fans, have a good one. Look forward to future live streams. All right. Take it easy. Thanks for dropping by. I really appreciate it. And good night. Sleep with the angels. But yeah, I have to say my Razer V3M, I think that was groundbreaking for me to have one. You know, and it was on Amp Mobile, so I got to watch like live TV on that phone. So smartphone wise, there's not really a phone that I miss. Like I said, currently right now the Moto E4 Plus has been my daily driver, and it's just been that. We need a dual screen phone, 2 to 5 inches. If I'm not mistaken, there was a phone that, I don't want to say it was dual screen, but it had a quirky method to it. I forgot what the name of it was, but like on the front you had a regular screen. Then on the back, you had a black and white, like LED, like not a LED. It displayed images, but it was in black and white. Like the whites was basically the lights lit up, and you literally could touch the back and do things on it. So it was crazy. I just forgot what the phone was called. Yeah, I still have the original Aquos Crystal. Just somewhere around here. I got my box of stuff. I gotta unpack it. I gotta bring a shelf in here too. So there's the vault, but it is somewhere around here. Phones, and more phones. There it is. Yeah. Still have it. Still works, still rooted, so quite interesting. Oh, you mean like the Incognito? The Incognito was a pretty cool phone. Does it still work, and can you use it? Let's see. Let's power it on, if it has any juice. No juice. I have to charge it, but yes, it still works, and it's still rooted. I think it was like probably like the hardest phone to root of all the phones I've had. And then the fact that I was able to root it, like I feel so bad because, which reminds me, I should update the description section of the video. But there's so many people that I get comments on that video about how to root it, and some of them have already taken the update after the one that I had currently at the time when I rooted the phone. And so when they try to root it, it soft bricks their phone. Yeah, it does. There's not much of a difference to it. Like I always said before, and I think RJ can agree with me on this, like I really wish that the cameras on here were better. If they put better camera sensors on here, it wouldn't kill me that it's running KitKat. I would still use it. 4,500 batteries are nice. Yeah, my Moto E4 Plus has a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, and it works really good. So I couldn't be more happy with the phone. Yeah, it was. I mean, with low lighting, the white balance was so bad. Like the white balance on the Aquos in lighting like this, I would literally be like orange, and then my walls wouldn't be white. They would be like a rose hue to it. Front camera was bad. Rear camera was okay with good lighting. So the Aquos was a pretty good phone. I still think that some of the developers that figured out how to root it were pretty selfish about it, because they were able to bring 6.0 Marshmallow to it, and were literally charging a buttload of money to just give you the ROM to flash onto the phone. And it was messed up. So, and I think that file is gone because I don't think anyone paid for it. So I wish I had the money. Would I have paid $600 for the ROM? Probably not. But if I was able to get my hands on it, then yeah, I would have given it out for free. Very surprising companies aren't using big batteries. People definitely want it. Yeah, I think it's the fear of battery explosion. I mean, if you look at the Note 7, and besides the fact that the battery shorted out because the insulation in the battery was defective, it was also in the fact that they had a big battery placed in such a small compartment area. Because like when your phone heats up, the battery gets warm, it expands, it swells. And if you don't have any leeway for that battery to swell and, expand to, you're compressing it, which is literally making it into a very micro bomb. And eventually the battery will burst and it will blow up like a bomb. So, plus two, I mean, if you think about it, market-wise, you could put a 5,000 milliamp hour battery into a phone. But you do want people to buy accessories, and with wireless charging starting to slowly make its way as a standard feature on smartphones, people aren't going to look to think to wanting to buy a wireless charger or power banks or any of those types of things if their battery can literally withstand 2 days on a single charge. I wonder how much an open first release iPhone will be, or unopened first release iPhone will be in 20 years. Probably worth a lot. I mean, there's people out there who have collected the iPhones. Like, they'll go on release dates and buy two versions of it. One they're gonna open and use. The other one they're gonna keep wrapped in the cellophane, never opened. And if you have every version of it, yeah, you're gonna have a good collection. Moto E4 Plus has a huge battery. Is that why it blew up? No, I don't think that's why it blew up. I just think the phone that person had in India was defective. I honestly think so. Because like when you read these articles, that's like the first thing that they're gonna put as a title, like, oh, the battery blew up, but they're not really gonna tell you what happened. Your smartphones came with USB-C. It will. I mean, USB-C is still fairly new. I mean, I know some people will say it's been around for a while, but it's still fairly new. Eventually, it'll become the standard. It's just phasing out micro USB. Future standard. Yeah. And it's pretty much like there. Like, when you look at a lot of phones today, like, majority of them that's being released are being released with USB Type-C. So like when the unboxing of the Moto E4 or E4 Plus, like, a lot of people were like in shock because it had micro USB. So I mean, that's how close to a standard it's becoming. Majority of ZTE phones come with USB-C. Yeah, I mean it's becoming the standard. You find more people with USB Type-C than you would with micro USB now. And I think this is also because USB Type-C is easy to use. There's no wrong way of plugging it into your phone. So there's not a way for you to damage the USB port. So yeah, I mean, it's already past midnight, guys. I was only gonna stream just for a little bit, but we wound up going into like almost an hour. What's your stance on companies removing the headphone jack? I think it's a stupid idea, but it's a marketing genius though, because you have companies that's really pushing wireless technology. So the best way to make wireless technology sell is to force it, and the only way they're gonna force it is if OEMs decide to yank the headphone jack away. So that's another plus of getting a mid-range device, because most of the flagships are the ones that are trying to copy each other's trends, so they remove the headphone jack, and mid-rangers like my E4 Plus still have it. So, but anyways, that's all for right now, guys. Thanks for coming in and hanging out with me and talking. I really appreciate that. You guys are awesome. That's why I miss doing this, and I'm very sorry, that my life has been that hectic, so I wasn't able to do this as much as I used to before. I'm really trying with different things, and then also for you guys who follow me for the longest time, the Google Plus community is there for you guys. It's strictly for you guys. So if you're on Google Plus, leave a comment, let me know, and I'll add you in. And I'm uploading a podcast from Spreaker on there just about almost every day. I try to at least every day, just to kind of give you you guys more than what I normally do on YouTube. So yeah. So anyways, guys, that's pretty much it. And I'll probably do another live broadcast this Sunday, so we'll be a little bit more better prepared. I know this was like, you know, so totally random. You guys are probably tripping out like my thing popped up if you guys got notified. And I know it was pretty late, so I'll do it during the day and I'll be on Sunday. So I have some downtime before I go back to work on Monday. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. You guys have a great evening. Your Google Plus name the same? Yeah, the name of this channel is how you'll find me on Google Plus. If you want to find the community itself, it's Aloha Android. So the name I retired is actually the name of the community. So, and that's there for, you know, for you guys that's guys and gals that's followed me since way back. So but yeah, anyways, I'm out. I'm gonna go to sleep. You guys should go to sleep too. So good night, everybody. Rest easy, sleep with the angels, and I'll see you guys Sunday.